Welcome to Cyberpump.com's How to Transform Your Physique number 240. My name is Bill Pichet, and just a little bit I'd like to start and talk a little bit about Cyberpump.com itself. The website has been around since 1995 and we're going to be in our 20th year. On the website is probably at this point, given we updated multiple times per week in the last 20 years, there's probably 3,000 articles on there for many different authors. Stuart McRobert, Dr. Ken, Bob Maxwell, and Bob Whelan, just to name a few. And I decided to actually start doing this column in a video format because I felt it hopefully would work out to be easier for me. After this has been about the 10th take just to get the introduction you just heard, I'm not so sure. But writing tends to be a pain in the butt for me, so I thought I would try this format instead, and maybe I'd be able to also cover things more efficiently and then cover things in a shorter amount of time and make it a lot more time efficient for myself. So if you want to put, for those of you not familiar with me, I have been training 36 years. You can put my last name in Google and you can find out pretty much everything about my training background. And that's P-I-C-H-E. And one disclaimer I'd like to make is I've been around for quite a while on the internet, and so I've also written articles, and you may have read in the past or may find. So I reserve the right to have changed somewhat in some of my philosophy and what I've learned in the last 20 years. And so if you read an article and if I contradict something that I've written in the past, that's just life. And one of the things I have recognized, and I hope everyone out there should recognize this, is you need to keep an open mind and continuously learn. It's not something that you're done with. There really is a journey. And I've continued to learn. In fact, I've learned quite a bit even in the last 5 years that I didn't know previously. I wish I really knew back when I started lifting 36 years ago. And what you're going to find is I'm going to share those discoveries, I guess, and some of the philosophies and how I've changed, and share those with you so that hopefully you can be better, or also avoid some of the mistakes I've made in the past as well. So with that said, I'd like to start what I'm going to call by the way, if you look around here, this is where I used to train, and you can see now it's got storage over in the corner. This is the bench I used to bench on for years. I'm now training in a commercial gym. You've got dehumidifier. If the camera was able to pan to the right, there's still weights over here, and you can see Snoopy on the back wall as well. So I'd like to start. I'm also reserved the right to rant a little bit because I am working out at a commercial gym right now. I should say training. I'm not working out, but I'm training at a commercial gym, and I'm gonna probably rant every now and then about what I see in the commercial gym. In How to Transform Your Physique number 240, I'd like to cover something that's really been bothering me for quite a while. It's called curl crap. So you can call this curl crap number 1, and everybody does curls, there's no question. I don't care whether it's old grandma, the up-and-coming young bodybuilder, to athletes, everybody does curls. And I'd like to cover in probably multiple segments what I see as some of the biggest downfalls of people when they're doing bicep curls. And so you can call it, I guess this would be, as I mentioned, curl crap number 1. So first of all, when you're performing a curl, this point on your arm, okay, where the arm bends and bicep works, this needs to be stationary, okay? So if it's moving up like this, moving forward, or moving behind, or in this instance moving out or in like this into the body, that's incorrect, okay? It needs to be completely along the line down from the shoulder down, okay? Otherwise, you're going to start bringing, you will start bringing other muscles into play, which is also part of curl crap number 1. Okay, which is any momentum, any this, you're doing this or this. So any movement here, pulling back here like this, okay, you're not going to be really working the bicep. Or stopping short, and you've probably seen people, their range of motion, they're going about, their range of motion where they're actually getting tension on the bicep is about this much. And I'm going to tell you why it's about this much, which is part of curl crap, at least number 1. I may get into this after. But what happens is, one of the goofiest things that people do is when you start rounding the corner with the bar, grab this. People are, so when the bar is up here, the weight is straight down, okay? Your bicep isn't doing anything at this point, okay? The weight, you're not creating any tension on the bicep unless you're trying to actually squeeze. And even then at this point, the movement's done from a tension standpoint. So the weight is straight down, okay? So coming up here, using momentum and doing this, and then as soon as you quote round the corner here, and most people are already out like this, or they're back like this, okay? Or they're out like this, okay? As soon as you come around this corner here, the tension on the bicep goes. The bicep is done, okay? And pretty soon the weight is starting to go down this way as far as where it's actually pushing. And people are up here and then they're resting. So what you see people doing is they go like this. So they first start the movement, they're not in full extension. And they've got a movement range of about like this. And by the time they're coming around, the weight is already just pushing down and there's no tension on the bicep. So they're getting a microsecond of potential tension on the bicep. And when they're not going full extension, which is you should be able to flex your tricep and have your tricep be flexed here, they're going about like this. So their actual movement of tension in the bicep is about this much. So, and why? They're going too heavy. Majority of the time, people need to lighten the weight. Pulling with the lower back in this sort of movement like this at all. Any movement like this, okay, you're not using your biceps, okay? It should be a strict movement here, straight down here to here. So, biggest thing, using too much weight. So, lighten the weight, and again, start with the first tip, again, which I started off, which was keep track of the track of this upper portion of your arm and where your elbow is located. So again, you shouldn't be moving it forward, you shouldn't be moving it backward, and you shouldn't be moving it out here or in here as well. It should be straight down from the shoulder, period, and locked into that position. So that's about it for today, and this was a clothes rack, by the way, so my bar that I was using to demonstrate. And so that's it for how to transform your physique number 240. Again, curl crap number 1. We'll talk a little bit about preacher curls and some of the other curl movements with dumbbells, and supination versus pronation, and the old turning the pinky stuff that a lot of misconception and myths about that as well. So see you next time.